The mind is kind. Elie Wiesel. Face down on a couch in the Office of Robotic Solutions is not where they/them plan to be this fine day in this timeless time. But a quarterly meeting was required. Although how anyone tracked quarters or semesters, months, years, or decades in this timeless time was beyond they/them's recognition. But the Office of Robotic Solutions just told them it was time, and they/them reported in. For these examinations, for some reason, they/them was told to lie face down on the couch until the examiner came in to examine them. The quarterly meetings had to do with check-ins, how things were going with the robot, which was already a strange omen because the Office of Robotic Solutions assumed that they/them had the means, wherewithal, and emotional foundation to have the robot already built and in hand and underway, under control. All they/them wanted to do during this check-in was check out. "Hello," the voice said to they/them. "You may elevate yourself now." "Elevate myself," they/them said. "Do you mean I can get up now?" they/them asked the voice. "Sure. My name is Tio, and I'm your examiner for today." They/them did a soft Aikido roll on the couch. It was the easiest and most gentle way they knew to elevate themselves. "Please keep your eyes closed," the examiner asked. Fine, they/them said. "Sure. How may I help?" "I believe that's my question to ask," Tia said. "But doesn't appear to be on this list." "So, they/them, how can I help you today?" "Oh, I was asked to report to the Office of Robotic Solutions, just to let you know that everything is fine, right? So everything is fine. Did you have any other questions for me?" "Why, yes, I do," the examiner said. "Your eyes are closed, are they not?" "They are," they/them said. I'm keeping them closed. I have no idea what you look like, but you certainly have a nice voice." "That will be all," the examiner said. "Oh, okay. Thank you for your time," they/them said. "I'm sorry to have disturbed you." "No. No more questions or interjections. Thank you." The examiner went on. "I understand that you are building your own robot." "Uh-huh," they/them answered. "I asked you not to respond." "Thank you," the examiner said. "How? Excuse you. I will let you know if you can respond or not, and when you can respond or not." They/them simply nodded their head. "So I understand you are building your own robot, which places you on a special observation list. Our associates have let me know that you have not made good progress building this robot, and we've extended several generosities to you regarding this emotional support robot. We need you to get underway with the build so that we can then observe and inspect the build. If the build is not to our liking, we can also reclaim your robot from you. Do you understand? They then started to open their eyes. Don't open, the examiner said. Close your eyes. They then closed their eyes and nodded. You may open your eyes and you may respond. Oh, they then said, I understand. I thank you for this opportunity. I'm sorry that I... Stop talking. Thank you. The examiner went on. I have 5 required questions here that we are supposed to ask you. The local council wants to help people cope during these post-pandemic times, and since you're on our special care list, we need to ensure that you'll be able to properly care for yourself and your device. So here we go. Question number 1. And do not respond until I say that you can respond. They them nodded. Softly. Thank you, the examiner said. Question number 1 is, what are you doing to take care of yourself in this timeless time, this quarter? They then placed their hands over their eyes. All right, you may respond. Please remove your hands from your eyes so that our recognition software can continue to confirm that you are answering this question. They then pulled their hands away. I have a support system. They then lied. Several people in the area that I speak with on a regular basis help me stay mentally fit, mentally healthy, emotionally. That will be all, the examiner said. They checked off the box and moved to the next question. My next question for you, do not respond until I say you can respond. My next question for you is, what are you doing to take care of others and your device? They then inhaled a cleansing breath, breathing in love and light, exhaling love, and more light, and waited for permission for the answer. Go ahead, the examiner said. I provide shelter for local citizens here, and I was in the process of building an arm for the device. That is the first step in my schematics. I drew it, and then I created a voice for it, right? Yes, and then I started building an arm. But then what happened is, that will be all, the examiner went on. They them nodded. I'm almost done here, the examiner said. It's almost lunchtime. My next question for you is, what have you done because your loved ones have passed due to the pandemic. What have you done? You may answer, what have I done? They them said, I think I need some clarification on the question. No, the examiner went on, what have you done? Well, I wouldn't say it was my fault. The examiner laughed. What have you done? What have I done? Well, I have a jobless job. I help to shelter local citizens, and my ex, Zoe, the examiner said, like they had won a spelling bee. Z-O-E, Zoe. Yes, they them agreed. My ex helps me to take care of the shelter, and in turn, we jointly shelter others in that shelter, local citizens. I do meditate, and that helps me to deal with the loss of that will be all, the examiner went on. It's almost lunchtime. In this timeless time, they them thought to themselves, so how the hell would I know what time it is? My last question, the examiner said. Oh, God be praised, they them thought to themselves. How do you deal with all of the misinformation coming in about the pandemic? How do you deal? You may respond. How do I deal? They them looked up at the sky. They saw it in their imagination through the ceiling, and they scraped it for answers. I spend most of my time in this timeless time just kind of wanting to be okay and just trying to get back to being okay. So I guess that's how I deal. Is that okay? Okay, the examiner said. Thank you. They closed a notebook, got up, closed the door behind them. The mind is kind, the guru once said to they them. I know you've read that somewhere. You know, a survivor said that. And I was smart enough to write it down and save it so I could let you know. What are you to make of this?